So that employee at Best Buy said proudly that he's a gamer, and I still think about gamers as like the first Nintendo. It's not exactly something I feel much respect for or pride in. I'm a gamer. I know it's changed, but really it seems like just a clown entertainment to me. So none of these laptops at Best Buy have 2 gigabytes for a GPU, 2 gigabytes of VRAM. So DaVinci Resolve 18.5 is way ahead of its time. It's got the software well ahead of what the hardware is providing from Best Buy off the shelf. So it's really showing how weak my laptop is that I got in like 2018, and they don't have they don't have the 2 gigabyte VRAM now. My laptop falls short of probably the standards today of then what 4 or 5 years old, my laptop. All right, so last night this lock, it likes to unlock all the doors. It's tripping out every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, for then every 2 minutes. It's very unpredictable. I'm thinking I need to disconnect the battery when it rains, but that's not easy. It's really hard to predict. It's probably killed my battery. Just south of Wausau, and I want to say that the water tastes kind of bad. The tap water is kind of tough to drink. Significant amounts of smoke in this area from a factory. That is a lot of smoke. And it doesn't smell different. Well, yeah, there is a burning smell in the air. I don't think I'll be here long. Maybe I'll cook on the grill. Oh my God. This is gonna be way too wet. This looks like unfinished coal. It has to turn gray to be finished. Jeez, I never paid attention before. It might be too wet. But dang it, I would like, that's a good type of coal. It's not the briquette. I never realized people leave coal around. I'll put my grill on top, start cooking, see oh, you can cook inside too. Looks like they invite, and it'd be more desirable. Actually, they covered the whole thing up. I don't know. I already got a lot of wet charcoal here. Gonna give her a try with the egg carton. I'm gonna put the fluid on the bottom one, soak that up, and just let it flame. Alright, and I'm keeping a good distance too, so I don't have to breathe in that smoke. Well, I peeled potatoes. It's been about maybe 10 minutes. I think it's putting out okay heat. It's got to deal with a lot of moisture still. Since it's still smoking, I'm gonna give it time. Not great heat. Just give it time. I can't really give the a specific time for how long it'll take to cook. I just have to check it every so often for the next hour. if I make a successful cooking, it's I'm gonna take some of this wet charcoal and use it because it's good. I mean, but this is still only a test. Putting out the heat, very little. Actually, it almost seems like it may be fizzling out. I hope not. I got the vent open. There's no red glow. It might be just barely warm. I got some dry charcoal that I bought and then mixed in with the wet and the used. It's a big mix. All right, I'm becoming more and more confident that it's gonna work. It's just the good dry coal needs to dry out the wet coal, and then that wet coal will burn. So this could be a very long-lasting fire because I used extra coal, using the coal I took from the previous park and then coal I found here. It took a little, using a little extra wet coal. I guess I'm entering into the business of checking the grill areas for leftover coal. People drop coal all over, and it's more desirable than wood. Nobody's ever used this thing. Wow. The other one's all beat up. See, there's parts like this side over here it's not nearly as hot as this side. And even cooking is no big deal to me. I don't need it even heating since I'm boiling. All right, so I get a little worried about the eggs not being able to cook fully. But I just checked one. I cracked it up really good, pushed it. It's rubbery. It's pushing back. It's not liquid ejecting out of the crack. So it concerns me that the top part's not going to cook as effectively when it gets really cold out compared to the bottom. But the eggs in the 50s, 55 degree weathers, they're cooking just fine outside. No wind. There's absolutely no wind. That's a factor too. Yeah, this coal, that more natural coal, it's got a ways to go. There's still more burn left in this. All I really could do is maybe cook the peas and carrots a little bit more. I boiled them up for a few minutes. Make a tea, put that on top, finish out the toast here. And I don't have much to toast either. Just these little pieces left. And I got a lot of burn left in this coal. I might have to dump it like those guys. I might be waiting a long time. It's putting out so much heat. And it's a chilly day. I really appreciate it. It's almost free heat, but I did use some of my own coal. Charcoal coal. Because this car is unlocking its doors by itself now because of the water tripping out the electrical. I could just imagine a criminal walking by and then suddenly hearing the car doors unlock. Take a look inside, see no one, and just kind of let himself on in. Looks like I made some leaf charcoal. I'd be too afraid to try to dry out the charcoal on top of the charcoal. Piece of wood maybe, but you have to put it in a container. Even though this leaf is black, it's probably not really. It needs to be inside a container, I guess. Yeah, in this weather, it's taken a long time for the cup to get to a boil. And this is in the 50s. Imagine the 30s trying to cook outside in a windy conditions. It's going to be so hard. But it's hard with the propane too. So it's a challenge with either of these two things. And I'd rather not use propane as much in the winter because it really takes a lot. Alright, I kind of want to take these back for a refund. I cannot finish these, and I'm almost done with them. I'm not eating the rest of these. That vegetable oil is a film. Cottonseed, soybean, sunflower seed oil. The oil extracts leave a film in my mouth. I don't like that feeling. I used to tolerate it, but it's no longer tolerable. Look at that. I did not suspect until I started tasting them, and then I'm like, these peanuts seem very different from the dry roasted. I was hoping these would be dry roasted. I made a big mistake buying these. Alright, let's see if this is the library. Guest. Okay. Oh! Oh! Sign in. So this is one of them old style libraries that have like a theater on the upper floor, but unfortunately pretty much all of them libraries that have it have shut down that upper floor theater area. Alright, so I was having a sick feeling stomach. I looked up sick stomach Chinese medicine on the internet to remind myself what all I needed to take. And that's ginger, cinnamon, and I took a couple of cloves. Take about maybe a tablespoon of each. No more sick stomach. But yeah, now I'm I don't know, my heart feels kind of weird, but I think that's unrelated. But this stuff, Chinese medicine, has good recommendations for upset stomach. Ginger, I think, is a primary driver. Alright, I'm in Mossany in this park that provides electricity. It looks nice. Not sure how busy it will get, but I'm going to take advantage of computer processing. It takes an hour and a half to process a 30-minute video, so wherever I can get a little boost, wherever I can avoid the library to do that, this is a good spot for that. So the Aylstrom Monksjo welcomes me to their electric plant. Alright, is it visible from here? They're welcoming me, but I don't see it. It's not very clear where it's at. But they've invested in this park. It looks pretty nice. There's electricity. So I'm guessing some of the electricity is coming from the hydroelectric plant. So I'm at a transition point with my sticks. I'm willing to take this very curvy stick that has a fork on the end over this straight solid stick that's just nothing. I'm finding that I prefer the forks on the end, and they could be used as walking stick or exercise stick, and they have a little bit more utility than just a straight stick for me. So if a squirrel tries to escape a dog by climbing up this pole, they're gonna have some problems. This is the first time I've ever seen a Girl Scout project, but it looks like it got vandalized. This looks like it was intentionally bent down. And then also it looks like a BB was shot on the plank, on the plaque. So the Girl Scout project, the first one I've ever seen dedicated to that, is not in good shape. I suspect they're hanging a plant. Could this be that plant? Did they just kind of hang some flowers? Because it looks like a hook for hanging. Is there a basket in here somewhere? Alright, so they identified some old pine as being part of what the lumberjack caught. I'm guessing it's this. And some others. The lumberjacks came along the water and just kind of cut everything down along the coastline. Well, there's no shortage of fallen trees around here across the water. And maybe by wind? I mean, how else are these trees falling down? They're taking up the roots, or maybe these are the trees that got shallow roots. Somebody put a bucket way up here, 30 feet high, maybe as a bird house, but the bottoms come out now. Alright, I think I'm going to walk to the library, and I just wanted to make note. Somebody left their shoes in the end of the dock. Alright, in the park, this Eagle Scout project is unique. Some kind of a stage setup was his idea, and I guess Gavin's put it together on the side of the road. I'd call it an art piece in itself, but utility, does it have utility as well? I'm not sure about that. I would love to hear the thought process and reasoning as to why the builders put a light switch outside the bathroom. A little bit of an island out there. Gotta swim or wait till wait till the water freezes before you can get out there. So I really continue to struggle with the pain in my left knee. When I get down to about chair level with the squat, even above chair level, the pain just takes all the strength out of that left leg. I don't know how to fix that. I have to work around it, which means really letting it weaken. I have no problem walking. It's not like a pain throughout. It's like I start to forget about it after walking. I want to squat down, pick something up off the ground, and then I'm reminded of the pain. I forget about it periodically because it requires squatting down. Alright, I just decided to stop at some reservoir. So they are launching boats here. Uh-oh. They're talking about invasive. It's not an official boat launch area, though. They're not declaring it as a boat launch. But with the invasive species sign, it's kind of giving that impression. Somebody whipped their vehicle around in the sand. Yeah, this is not a common boat launch area. I think it's a reservoir, so that's maybe why it looks a little weird. Alright, after seeing enough grass along the edge here, I think I'm going to pick some and boil it as part of the boiling water for corn. I'll boil grass, and when it's boiling I'll pull the grass out and then use that brown liquid for cooking the corn. Alright, I boiled the grass. It's a little green. Pulled the grass out. Start the boil back up and take care of this corn. And I also want to say that every time I eat, my stomach it gives me problems. It feels rough. So with maple, you can kind of leave the inner bark on because it seems to carry some strength to it, and it gives maybe a little bit of a design. I've noticed that this inner darker brown bark is kind of sturdy. So and I mean, it peels off. That's kind of bothersome, but that's okay too. Leave it on in the top half, and I wanted to make the smaller half a little bit more narrow, lighter. Alright, back on the beach with this stick now. I'm afraid it's gonna crack, but I wanted to get something quick. I don't mind a little cracking. Further down this beach, and there's a dock. Like maybe it's private property. But man, this dock really comes up short. It's really giving the clue that the water levels might be unusually low. They do seem a little low. All sand around. I think it's really man-made. That's why it's a reservoir. Or I think it's why it's a reservoir. Oh man. Now there's a garbage can, and then a sitting bench. I didn't check who owns this property. Private? They don't even need to bring it in the winter time. There's no water. Like, this has got to be private property. They're trapping, although the trap is on its side. Firewood must be private property. It's just a lot of random stuff. They probably come out here and hang out every so often at the fire pit with some kind of a nice cloth. Wow, that is very stiff. Almost like it's a leather hide. That'd be a very nice car cover. But I don't need it until next summer anyway. And I really don't have a lot of room. I'd almost consider taking that. That would cover the whole car. Alright, upon closer inspection, I finally know what the heck this is. For target practice, they would just kind of hit it and it'd clink. Yeah, this gives way. That's a neat little target thing. Never really seen that before. Shooting from over here. So this is certainly private property I'm on. They got a woods on the water. So the draining of this reservoir must have happened this year. Little side puddle, it's kind of moist. Smells swampy. Lots of deer tracks. Alright, I'm gonna dump this stick, this straight stick, no features to it, in favor of this other stick that has the handle on the side. Both 5 feet. This one's a little bit heavier. I gotta give this some time to dry out. I mean, it sat on the beach for who knows how long. It's a maple, it's at risk of cracking. I need to figure things out here. But yeah, I gotta maintain enough room in the car. So I'll take the chance, because I really appreciate that handle a lot. I'll get rid of the straight stick. And for some reason, I'm really having a lot of difficulty trying to figure out if a downward pointing handle would be good or better. I just don't see benefits in that, but I would have to make one to be able to play with it and figure it out. I feel like there's more benefits with this up pointing handle instead. All right, I want to make another 4-foot stick. I've already done the 5. I want to replace my straight stick. This is a nice straight stick here, and I want it to complement this 4-foot that I have. And I gotta admit that the 4-foot, this current one, I really don't need the forks to be so long, but I'll accept it. I'm thinking this one will have shorter, maybe not that much shorter since it's so narrow, actually. I'm gonna measure out 4 feet, let's see, 4 feet 1 inch, I'm thinking. And now the standard's gonna be my hand width for a start. So it's comfortable maybe right about here. So I can't really get into that groove very well. So, and I don't want to force my hand in there. Maybe like up to here. So I'll start the 4 foot 1 above my hand. And this is all still a bit of an experiment too. There's all different shapes and sizes out there. It's a quick cut. I believe this to be maple. The more challenging cut is going to be the bottom. Okay, so I keep both about the same length. Okay, now 4 feet 1 inch, a little over 4 feet 1 inch from the base. Four feet. And then 1 inch, a little bit more for the blade size. Yeah, that'll be pretty neat. I'm gonna throw away my straight 4-foot in favor of this forked 4-foot as soon as I get this all taken care of. You know, you always measure twice, right? Just to be sure. 4 feet on the base. Yeah, 4 feet 1 inch, a little over. Okay. You know, spending about an hour debarking it. It's pretty nice that this just kind of sitting here. I don't know why, but it is sitting here right on the beach, drying, not cracking. I'm gonna want to keep it in the shade for a while after I debark it, just so it doesn't dry too fast, because I think there's a little water. The 5 foot I cut felt a little wet. And there's really nothing else I can do with this nice piece of maple sitting here.